Hello.
995 Play FM. What's going on, guys? My name is Renzo, and today we are being joined by a few of the guys from Why Don't We? And yes, we are talking about their latest single, Fallin. We got Daniel and Corbin. What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Good, bro.
All right, what was for dinner? First of all, have you guys had dinner?
Yeah, I had this chicken with this sauce that was nuts with some asparagus on the side. It was a good dinner.
All right, good mix of healthy, good mix of some meat every now and then. But then, hey, I mean, let's talk about what's been going on. Congratulations on the new single. I mean, dude, 24 hours straight, #1 of the iTunes charts. Absolutely insane. How you guys been feeling, and how have you guys been celebrating?
Oh man, we've been feeling amazing. And we've just been celebrating by just, hanging with each other. We've been rehearsing together basically every day for just some upcoming stuff. And it's felt really good to see the social media reaction and to be, doing all these interviews and talking about the music. And it feels really good to be back in action.
Yeah, and I'm happy to hear that you guys are still very focused on, the goal that was set by, the band in the beginning of the year. But, when you did hear the final mix of Falling for the first time, was this, was it the single you knew right away, or did you kind of have to choose among a bunch of other ones that you've written for the upcoming album?
Oh man, the whole album definitely is full of singles, and yeah, it was a bit tough prior to Falling choosing that first single. But when Fallin came, it was the last song we wrote on the album, and we mixed it, I think, in the same week. And everybody unanimously, including our label management, just the whole team was like, "This is the song," and we felt that same way. But man, there's so many more singles on this album that it's definitely like, what a good problem to have. But with Fallin, it felt like an intro. Those drums come in right away, and it feels like an intro. So that one was pretty obviously the first single.
So what was it about Falling that made it, the single? Was it because you think it's the best way to introduce Why Don't We in 2020? This brand new, well, I wouldn't call it brand new. I mean, it's always been in you guys, but this what you're bringing to the table?
Yeah, I would say so. It just felt like from the jump, like just the aggression and the anthemicness of it felt very strong to just come out of the jump with. And like we said, we knew that from the get-go. And so it's been crazy to see the reaction to it because it's, kind of everything that we had hoped for. But you don't really know until you know. But I mean, the album is very diverse and follows a great course that Fallin has kind of set for it.
Now, when you set out to write and produce this new album, did you have that in mind, that you wanted it to be different from your previous work, or did that kind of just come organically while writing in the studio?
I think you're asking some good questions, my guy.
Thanks, man.
This whole album, Fallin, too, definitely wasn't forced, and we weren't intentionally going for a sound. I think we just kind of followed our gut instinct of what we like in the music we would actually listen to, and took into account what our fans like and what our fans actually listen to, and kind of met in the middle there. I feel like I learned from this guy, Dan Wilson. He's a great writer, written for Adele and some, crazy artists. He said, you got to write a song for yourself and a song for the fans, and that should kind of be the order that you write. And I feel like that's really what we did with this album. And with Fallin, we wrote over 100 songs, and some people probably won't ever hear because, they're more for us. And some are on the other spectrum of, giving in too much, I think, to a sound that isn't true to us. But this whole album just is that perfect balance of who we are, who we know our fans, what we know they love about us, and super honest to who we are.
Well, I think, if I may say so, that really comes from your great relationship with the fans. I mean, you and the Limelights, all of you have such a tight relationship, and I think it's just so great to see on social media every day, and I know the fans feel it as well. Even all the way here in Manila, we feel the support that you guys have for the Limelights. Now, I did want to ask, there's so many artists out there who do have these fan bases, but, they don't seem as close knit the same way that you and the Limelights are. What do you think the key is to keeping a consistent relationship, or at least having that connection and maintaining that connection with the fans is?
Yeah, I think first of all, just being thankful, because there really is no why don't we without the fans, and that's first of all, and second of all, just I think we all enjoy being ourselves, and I think we do a pretty good job of it. It's definitely easy to get caught in a loop of just wondering what everybody thinks about you, and
right.
Trying to fit a mold and the whole thing, and we've all been through that over the past couple years,
right.
But it's also reciprocated because the fans are super incredible, and so there's that side of it where it would be wrong and wouldn't do them justice if we weren't as close to them as we are. And so that's part of it too, and it's a mutual love, and like I said, there's no why don't we without the fans.
Yeah. And it was great to see, the outpouring of understanding when, you all did take to social media beginning of the year to tell them that, you'd be taking the first part of 2020 off to write and produce. And there was just so much understanding and respect for that decision. And, I didn't want to ask, given the pandemic and everything, did that kind of, of course, I'm sure it affected it in some way, but as musicians, as writers, how did it kind of affect your focus, if it did? And how did you kind of get back on track into writing despite everything that happened?
I think at the start of the pandemic, I think not even just us, but a lot of writers I talked to kind of hit writer's block because, you write on your experience, and that was honestly part of the tough thing about being on the road prior to the pandemic. We were on the road for about 4 years, and you're in a green room all day. You're indoors. The only experience you have is being on stage, which is what makes it worth it. Mm-hmm. But really hard to write when you have nothing going on, in a sense. So for the first couple months, it was kind of hard to write, but I think a lot of different personal growth happened during quarantine for all of us. I think, kind of re-salvaging relationships that are hard to keep when you're on the road. I think anxiety was something we all had to deal with, of, going from being what felt like on the top of the world to being back to normal life and doing your own laundry. That comes with some weird anxiety, and we wrote about all of that on this album.
Okay, so it really is just you guys are forced to live with yourselves again and look inward a lot and be introspective. And I like that we're going to be hearing a lot of that, because it really speaks to more truth for the band and the music. And I'm sure the fans are excited about that as well. But, something that, on a lighter note, a lot of time spent in quarantine, and maybe, not all of it was working and producing and writing. What were some of the strange, hobbies that you got into during quarantine? Maybe a series you guys started watching, playing some new video games. What's been going on the side of just chill and non-work related?
I got some scuba diving gear for my pool out of sheer complete boredom, and I've been scuba diving every once in a while. It's only like 6 feet deep, but man, I've been hella bored, so I've been doing that.
So sometimes you just walk out of the house and you see him just submerged under the pool, just bubbles. He's just like,
he's
got his scuba time.
Random bubbles.
Hey, that'd be the best time to start thinking. All right, how about the rest of the guys? What's everybody kind of been getting into?
We've been playing a lot of Call of Duty together.
Warzone?
And then, you know it.
Dude, it's impossible to get a win. Have you guys gotten a W?
We've had a couple W's under our belt, and he's got a lot of W's under his belt. He plays with like his brothers and his friends, and they're all actually really good. It kind of pisses me off.
That's great. Oh, hey! There he is. Welcome back, Jack. What's up, man?
This ugly guy.
Who is this guy, man?
The very long bathroom break finally over. What's going on, man?
Hey.
All
right, man. You're just in time for the fan questions. If you guys don't mind, I'll rattle off a few quick ones that they sent over through Twitter. This one is from at @amloveleen. She's asking, what's the biggest difference you think is going to be in your music from now on because of self-writing and producing?
I think everything.
Yeah, the biggest difference, I guess, would be the sound of it, because it's not trying to sound. I think our old music was all good, and I loved our old music, but I think we were trying to kind of keep up with the times of pop music and all. And I think this new music is really pushing the boundary more and going deeper into who we are and what music we like. So it just feels very unique. Like I don't think I've heard an album like this in at least a long time, you know.
Nice. I'm super excited. And this one as well, coming from @DanielSnapped. What do you guys miss about Manila and the Philippines?
Oh man, everything. Philippines is great, man. Y'all, first of all, to the fans, y'all go crazy over there. We've had some really, really awesome shows and some really awesome times there. Man, I wish we could come back, but you know, given the current state of the world, kind of waiting that one out, and you know, just seeing whenever it's safe. I mean, as soon as we can be out there, we'll be out there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll believe that 100%. And, you know, of course, we want you back in full form, and especially after, hopefully, after the album comes out, so we get all this new music. But before we let you go, do you have a final message to all the Limelights in the Philippines, all your Filipino fans? And can you ask them all to request for Fallin on air at 99.5 Play FM?
Yeah.
Well, we love all of you. Thank you for your support and sticking with us through our hiatus.
Thank you so much for it.
But
Make sure to request the song on 99.5 Play FM. We'd love to hear it. And we're stoked that you guys are stoked for the album. And just thank you again for everything.
There you go. Why don't we, folks? Thank you so much for joining us here on Play FM. Good luck on the future Warzone wins, boys. Please get more of them. And good luck on the scuba diving. And we're excited to hear the new music and the new album. Take care, guys.
Hey, thank you, Renzo. Appreciate you, man.
thanks, man.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Oh, baby, I can't